A classic car that pays tribute to the goddess of wisdom. Highlights from this year's SEMA Auto Show in Las Vegas. And a Hellcat, straight from hell, that will make you feel like you're in heaven. All that and a whole lot more coming up right here on the SST Car Show. SST is brought to you by Stark Auto Sales, home of the ultimate worldwide scratch and dent car sale. Hey friends, I'm Rick Walker. Welcome to another edition of the SST Car Show. Man, do we have some cool stuff to share with you today. We're going to take you to Las Vegas to the SEMA Auto Show. We're going to share with you a 3D printed car that shows what's new in the world of automotive production. But first, let's go to the Greenfield Village at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan. That's where we hooked up with Lou Savonic, the owner of a Minerva, a car that pays tribute to the goddess of wisdom. You are looking at a car that was in its day one of the most expensive automobiles in the world. This is a Minerva, a prestigious luxury car that was built from 1903 through to the mid-1930s. Today it's owned by Lou Savonic.
It was a very, very high-end car, very high quality, and the cast aluminum body makes it especially collectible.
This Minerva has changed hands several times over the years. It was once owned by Pacific Auto Rentals, which supplied cars for the movie industry. It was featured in about 10 movies, none of which are really remembered today because most of them were silent films that are rarely screened today. There is also some evidence that this car was originally purchased by one of the wealthiest and most powerful men of that time period, newspaper baron William Randolph Hearst.
It has a sleeve valve, 6-liter, 6-cylinder engine, and so with the sleeve valve design, it's very, very quiet. And it's actually a Hemi head configuration. A fair amount of power, it was about 130 horsepower and very high torque rating.
This vehicle is a town car sport, which provided a roof for the passengers, but not the driver. This is a very rare car. In fact, there are probably fewer than 100 Minervas left in the world today. We take you now to Granham, Alberta, to the friendliest car show in Western Canada. This one is for all you Mopar lovers out there. Now, highlights from the Audi display at this year's Ottawa-Gatineau International Auto Show.
Coming up, more from SEMA Las Vegas.
Hey friends, welcome back to the SST Car Show. Let's head off to Las Vegas now for some highlights from this year's SEMA Auto Show.
Hey, welcome to SEMA. Welcome the driver of the Traxxas Chevrolet Camaro SS funny car, Courtney Force. Courtney helped us with a special Camaro for SEMA. Let's show them. So this is the all-new 6th generation Copo Camaro. This is our 2016 Silverado Real 3 Home Collector concept. Please welcome the founder and CEO of Real 3, Bill Jordan, and the stars of the hit TV show Bone Collector, Michael Waddell, Nick Mutt, and Travis C. Bone Burke. Everybody, please welcome Detroit's own Kid Rock. Rock, how you doing? Good. How are you? What a great job. Thanks for helping us.
You're welcome. So I wanted the big bow tie and the stovepipes and just kind of, really make it big, badass, new age of Detroit, something that's just bigger and better than all the rest.
Back we go to Granham, Alberta, to the friendliest car show in Western Canada. This one again is for all you Mopar lovers out there. You're gonna love this old Plymouth. If you love Mopars, you're gonna love this next car. It's a Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Now, of course, these things were limited production. They're freaking awesome because they are the most powerful muscle car ever produced. It's owned by Roy Ward, who hooked up with him at the SEMA Auto Show in Las Vegas. You are looking at a very special car. It isn't very old, but it's already rare. This is a 2015 Dodge Challenger Hellcat.
We love it. We've enjoyed it, and it was a long process. All the glass was taken out of the car, all the black plastic textured was all sanded down and all painted.
It was one of the first off the assembly line. Roy Ward is the owner, but for Roy, even though it was one of the first Hellcats produced, it still wasn't exclusive enough. So Roy decided to customize this car. His vision started on the outside with custom paint.
We actually went to House of Colors on the paint, and we wanted to get what we were looking for is a Phantom Red. And we used the Phantom Black original paint to work with the Phantom Red to create this color to where it looks black from a distance, but when you get the light on it, it's got a beautiful red tint to it. Custom artwork is done by Joe Martin, which is from Martin Brothers.
The airbrushing on the hood brings the Hellcat to life.
Paint still wasn't enough.
The theme continues inside the car.
With a subtle and tasteful transformation completed in Italian leather.
The car was taken apart, glass out of it. The interior of the car was completely taken out. We worked with a company called Alira. We actually redesigned the stitching of the seats.
Now this is a Hellcat, so Roy has done nothing to the drivetrain. I mean, after all, why would he? This car is equipped with the most powerful V8 engine ever dropped into a production muscle car. We're talking about a Hemi V8 here that develops 707 horsepower. That's why the Hellcat was the 2015 SST Muscle Car of the Year. All that power is planted firmly on the pavement with an adjustable suspension.
So we decided at this point we may have some future plans on the car. But right now it is all stock.
There's also an 8-speed transmission. The wheels are a 3-piece custom chip foose design. Roy knows this car is rare. He is still researching, trying to confirm production numbers, but he knows production was limited. So at first glance, this car looks awesome. But closer inspection reveals even more awesomeness, all wrapped up in a cat straight from hell. And now a quick look at the all-new 2016 Ford Focus. Don't go away, just around the corner, a look at the all-new 3D printed car from Local Motors. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jessica at the 2015 SEMA Las Vegas. Don't go away, we'll be right back after these messages.
We take you back to Las Vegas now for an interview with Al Shelley of Local Motors, a company that produces 3D printed cars. That's right, 3D printed cars. Now, last year, we brought you an interview with a company representative from Local Motors who talked to us about the world's very first 3D printed car. But since then, they've made some big improvements in production. Here's what's new. We are here at SEMA in Las Vegas, and a year ago we showed you the world's very first 3D printed car. It was a privilege for me to sit in it, and I'm here with Al Shelley from Local Motors, the company that built the world's, or manufactured the world's very first 3D printed car, and behind us is their newest creation. So, Al, tell me what is new with Local Motors and this product?
Oh, so much. So what you see here is actually the next iteration in our road to getting a fully homologated, crash-tested, 3D printed car on the road. So this year's rapid iteration shows all kinds of technology advances in what we've done since last year.
And what are those, some of those kinds of advances? Because, I mean, how do you advance what was already like as advanced as it can be?
Right, that's a great question. So we're already on the cutting edge, and now we're really getting to bleeding edge. But simple things, right? So first things first, this year's vehicle actually looks more like a car. So it's a little bit wider, it's a 4-seater instead of a 2-seater. We have a lot of other sort of creature comforts that we're experimenting. But this vehicle actually shows technology advances in 3 specific ways: safe, smart, and sustainable. So if we look at safe, what we're really working on is exploring the polymers, which is the 3D printed material. We've got some partnerships with Oak Ridge National Laboratory as well as Sabic. They actually provide the polymer, which is the technical name of the material that we 3D print. And we're exploring how to make that the safest, strongest material possible. We're also looking at sustainability in the material. Is there a way to create a cradle-to-cradle, completely sustainable, in other words, recyclable material, which would mean that we would create cars that were 100% recyclable. That's the future. That's where we're going.
So how does this impact the current auto industry, or the auto industry of the near future?
I think the main thing to remember about our strategy is that we are low volume, high mix. What that means is we are always going to do low volume manufacturing with a lot of different vehicles in our portfolio. This is where it gets really interesting for, enthusiasts. When we say low volume, we mean 12,000. A run of 12,000 on one model, that's tiny for one of the OEMs, but for us, that's exactly where we want to be. That's our sweet spot.
I would think, though, that the larger manufacturers have got to be taking note.
Absolutely.
And in the long run,
Absolutely.
maybe you're not just a manufacturer, but a supplier of technology and techniques to the other companies, right?
Yeah, so we're already exploring some of that. Our business model is open source, which means everything's open. And so right now we are partnering with IBM to build technology, open source technology together with them. And if we do something like that, then the technology that spins out of that, because it's built on an open source infrastructure, is available to everyone in the industry. That's the world we believe in.
So if you're giving it all away and you're not, how do you make money?
We sell the cars.
When does that happen? Because you're not really selling 3D printed cars yet.
Well, we will, yes. We are not right now, but we will begin to pre-sell 3D printed cars and the highway-ready version of the 3D printed car in probably March, April, Q2 of 2016 next year.
So it won't be this car.
It won't be exactly this car, but it will be close.
And how much will it cost?
Our estimated MSRP for the road-ready, fully homologated vehicle is $53,000.
And how good will it be? I mean, this is really cool, but it just somehow isn't quite,
Well, we're ambitious, and we really want the feature set to be great. With $53,000, you're going to get an amazing vehicle. You're going to get leather. You're going to get, power windows. All of the creature comforts that are really kind of standard operating in that price point is what we're gunning for.
So it'll be like a real car.
It is a real car, yeah. It will absolutely will be a real car. It will be an EV as well, so there's another piece of the sustainability story there.
All right, well, this is really exciting stuff, and I was pumped last year. I'm pumped this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, in like 6 months, let's go for a drive.
I would love to do that. I'll come down and see you, and you take me for a spin.
You got it, we will.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Hey friends, we are getting ready to give away our Vehicles of the Year awards, and this year, as always, you get to have a say. All you have to do is log on to our website at streetsporttv.com and tell us what you think the best cars of the year are, or your best minivans or SUVs or crossovers. That's right, you get to tell the world what you think, and your vote will have an influence over the vehicles we choose as the best of the year. Now, we are out of time. We got to go. So until next time, I'm Rick Walker reminding you, when you can't get to the car show, we will bring the car show to you online at streetsporttv.com. Catch you next time.
Maverick Multimedia production.